Hello everybody, happy Friday to you all. So a lot of you have been asking me about the Laura Mercier Candleglow Soft Luminous Foundation. I'm not filming a review on it because I've already been trying it out and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So I figured that I would just film an updated foundation routine instead. I haven't done a foundation routine in a very long time. It's using a lot of the same products that I use all the time, so there's not a lot of newness here. But I figured I would just film this instead of filming a foundation review because I have been using it and loving it so much, so I just wanted to showcase it in a foundation video. I can tell that speaking is not going to come easily today. So let's just get into it. I'm going to use this foundation. I have the shade 30. Wow. I have the shade Vanille. It's a very beautifully packaged foundation. I love that you take the lid off and it's a very nice little pump. It just makes me really happy in the aesthetic world. I take a couple pumps, maybe like 2 or 3, and it actually says to apply it with your fingers or with a sponge. I actually quite like using my fingers because I've been very lazy about getting my beauty blender lately. So I just take it and rub it in my fingers. It's got a really nice kind of light medium coverage, and it is very long lasting, so it's good for those of you who don't want to have to worry about touching up your makeup. This is definitely one for dry skin, I would say. I don't know how oily skin would handle this. We'll have to wait and see for the oily skinned peeps to report, but for dry skin I think it's absolutely beautiful. I then just take another pump or so, and with the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush, I just kind of run that along areas where I find that I need a little bit more coverage, mainly around my cheeks where there's a lot of redness. Next I go in with my Bobbi Corrector. This is in the shade Porcelain Bisque. I feel like I need a little bit of a darker shade because this is kind of, I don't know, this is the color I've always used. But sometimes I feel like it's a little bit, like it's very bright under my eyes. So I just apply that right along the bag. Like when you look down and you have the bag right there, I just kind of apply it right into the crease there. And then I move on to concealer. Obviously using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have the shade Light 2 Vanilla. This is my favorite concealer of all time. I haven't tried the Urban Decay one. I kind of don't want to try it just because of an experience I had of trying it on my hand, which I know isn't a really good test for how it'll actually go on your face, but it kind of scared me because it settled into all of my dry patches and fine lines and wrinklies on my hand, and it made it look worse than it actually is. And I was like, geez, if this is what it's doing to my hand, I don't really want to test it out on my face, but I might just have to pull the plug and try it at some point. But until then, I just take my NARS concealer and I put it all over my face. I'm going to take the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush and I just blend in all of this concealer. Before, I would have totally always used the beauty blender for this. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the oils I've been using. I've just really been loving the, I guess, finish that the brush gives. It just doesn't take away as much of the product, and I don't know, I just like using it. I enjoy using it. It's a lot faster. I don't have to go to the bathroom and rinse out my beauty blender. But that being said, when I do go out and I do really want to take a lot of time with my makeup and look good, I will use the beauty blender because I feel like it does give you that extra glowy, nice skin finish to the skin. Skin finish to the skin. Please explain that, Alana. I'm very anal about my jawline, so I make sure to always blend out excessively around there. And when I'm around the eye area, I make sure that I'm patting. I'm not actually rubbing it. I do it quite fast, so it might look like I'm rubbing, but I actually do a kind of up and down patting motion. Making sure it's all blended into the hairline, and I think I'm just gonna stop this, and now we're gonna set it. For powder, I've been using the Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Kit. I mix these two bad boys with a Sigma Soft Blend Concealer F64 brush, and I use these to set the under eyes. It just really doesn't have any buildup. It's a really beautiful powder combination for under the eyes, and I'm so excited for those to come out in single pan format because I'm going through these like hotcakes. For the rest of my face, I take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Light. I use this with a MAC 127 brush. This is the limited edition handle one from the Alluring Aquatic collection, but they actually do sell this brush separately. I wouldn't recommend it unless you'll actually get use of the wet side. I only use this side, so it's kind of pointless, but I like it anyway. It's a really nice soft flat brush, and I just use this powder to kind of set all around the rest of my face. I never thought I would be a powder person, but you know, I've been a powder person lately. It's crazy. Gonna go back into the Kat Von D Shade Light Contour Palette, and I kind of just gonna take a little mixture of these two. I'll use whatever contour shade I'm feeling that day. Most of the time I'll be too lazy to grab something else, so I'll just stick with the ones in the Kat Von D palette. But I also love my Kevin Aucoin one. I try to save it for special occasions because it is so beautiful. Or use my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, whatever I have on hand. I use this MAC 188 brush to contour. I don't know why I like it. I kind of was steering away from the pointy powder and sculpt brush. I feel like because it has more diameter to it, it makes the contour look a little bit more natural. I love to blend my contour out with a bronzer just to make sure that there's no harsh line, because when you use a pointy brush it is really easy to kind of muck it up by making a line. So I feel like this just takes that away a little bit. It just makes it look a lot more natural and blended into the cheekbone. I'm not actually going to contour my nose today because for whatever reason I've been failing miserably at it lately, so we're just going to skip that step. Go right into bronzer. This is my NARS Laguna bronzer, my absolute love, and I use it with my e.l.f. stipple brush, which is my favorite bronzer brush. It just makes it really soft and natural when you apply it. I use circular motions when I apply my bronzer. I kind of start at the apple of my cheek and I follow the contour line that I've made, like just twirling it around. I go all the way up to the forehead. And I do that on both sides. Like this. I take it just down the sides of my nose just to make sure that there is a little bit of warmth in there. And then I also take the bronzer down my neck, because my neck is so white. If Casper were to be a real thing, it would be my neck. So for highlight, I take my Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. This is the most beautiful highlighter on the face of this planet. It is so, so nice, and oh, I just love it. It just makes you feel so angelic and glowy and heavenly, and I just love it. I take that along my cheekbones, making sure not to go into the eye area too far, but just right along that cheeky bone. I kind of take it up around the eyebrow. I go on the center of my nose, tip of my nose, and then also on my Cupid's bow. The Cupid's bow doesn't last very long, neither does the nose, because I'm always blowing my nose and rubbing my face somehow. So really it's pointless, but I do it anyway. Then I take my Hourglass Luminous Light powder and I go right on top of it. And I just kind of blend that out even further, and I feel like it, I don't know what it does. I just like the two layered together. I don't know. Don't know why I do it. Take it all the way down my nose and just kind of fluff it around, make myself feel glowy. This is a Sigma F35 tapered highlighter brush, by the way. Then I go back with my e.l.f. stipple brush, the bronzer brush, and I just go along that area, the same area where we applied the bronzer, just to make sure that there's no harsh line between the bronzer and the highlighter. And then I go in with blush. I don't remember where I read it and if it's true or not, but I read somewhere that you should apply your blush last on your face, so I kind of just started doing that. So I'm taking my Burberry Earthy blush, my favorite nude blush ever, and this is my Bobbi Brown blush brush, and I just apply that to the apples of my cheeks and kind of drag it backward. I don't always wear blush. Sometimes I will just leave it at the bronzer because I do go so heavy-handed with it that sometimes I don't need any more color there, but I do like to add a little bit of a flush of pink just to, I don't know, make me look soft, if you will. So then I go back to my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, and I take this Sephora number 73 Pro Precision brush. You can use the same powder brush if you want. I just like this one. And I take that along the edges of my contour just to further help me cover the redness on my cheeks. And it kind of also just makes your cheekbones stand out a little bit more. I have very creasy under eyes, so by the time I'm finished doing everything, even if I have set my under eyes, it will get a little bit creasy here. So I'll just go back in with that brush that we used to apply the powder under the eyes. I'll just kind of re-pat that out. And then I go ahead and set in my makeup. This is my MAC Fix Plus. This is the coconut smell. Yeah. I spray that all over and let it set in, and then that is everything for my foundation routine. At this point, I would go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, but I feel like I just don't need to show you that because I'm probably not going to be wearing a lot of makeup today. I might throw some mascara on, that might be it. But this is my current foundation routine. I'm absolutely obsessed with this foundation. I love the finish of it. Everything else you guys have seen me use before, so there wasn't much new here, but I promise that there are new makeup tutorials, new products coming. I'm going to be testing out a lot, but just want to let you know if you have dry skin and you're wanting like a light to medium glowy foundation, this one is beautiful and I am so happy I picked it up. Loving it, love the finish. I'm really obsessed with this current foundation routine that I've got going on. Loving the glow, loving the bronze. What do you think? Let me know what products you're using in your current foundation routine. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye!